Hi, everybody. Wow, it's been a long time. So I'm so glad you guys are back. You haven't forgotten about us. Smartphone Theater, we're here to stay. We have an audience both on Zoom and I have multiple screens going, and on our YouTube page, so which is terrific. So I am thrilled that our YouTube audience is here and nice and big, and I'm thrilled that our Zoom audience continues to stick with us, which is great. We're just gonna keep on going. Smartphone theater, I'll tell you something that really excites me is that I run into people now who will say, "Oh yeah, I saw you on smartphone," or whatever, or "I was on smartphone," and that really means a lot to everybody who's been involved in this, that we've sort of become this brand, and we have certainly set the standard. And so thank you guys. Thank you to the audience. Thank you to everybody who's been involved with Smartphone Theater up until now. It's because of you that we're so successful, and we're going to just keep on going and going. So let me tell you a little bit about what's happening in our coming weeks. So next Friday, we have something that's very special. We have two monologues. They're written by Susan Sullivan and David Selby, and it's called The Share. And this is a very special evening because as we do these monologues, or after we do each monologue, we want to directly involve the audience. So it's even more than a talk back. The topic of next week is how their parents still influence their lives or your lives, no matter how old you are. So there's going to be a monologue, then we're going to open it up to the house. So there's going to be a direct conversation with the audience, and we anticipate a very large audience. So it doesn't matter if you are in our YouTube audience or if you're in our Zoom audience. You'll be able to directly speak with Susan and David, and we'll get into this conversation, and it should be a really fascinating night. Then into April, we have another play by Kieran Angelini called Anteroom. That's probably going to happen in April. And then we'll see what's next after that. So lots of stuff going on. People always ask me, Todd. Oh, by the way, my name is Todd Felderstein. So I'm your host and the founder of Smartphone Theater. So people always ask me, how to support Smartphone Theater because we don't have a paywall up. So yes, you can donate to us directly on the website. That's how we basically pay our bills, through our donations. So if you go to the website, there is a little button there that tells you how to do it. And, we have a suggested donation of $10, but anything that you want to give us, contribute, we are more than welcome. So, again, thank you. Thank you for making this possible. Okay, enough of me blabbing on. So tonight, for all you folks who've been watching our HOMEFIRES series, it's really fascinating. We're now at HOMEFIRE 6. It's an amazing series. Our cast and director and playwright have been doing an absolutely wonderful job. People contact me frequently and tell me how much they love the HOMEFIRE series. So, I couldn't be happier. This is really fantastic. So again, tonight we have HOMEFIRE 6, which is by Joe Keys. It's written by Joe Keys. It's directed by Peter Flood. It's starring Lily Knight and Steve Hofvendahl. All right, so let me turn off my camera. I will start the show, and then again, we're going to do a talk back immediately following, so don't go away. All right, enjoy, and we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Oh, purple finch. Hello? Hi. Yeah? Uh-huh. What? Are you serious? You're kidding. This is completely untrue. Yeah? Yeah, well, we'll see about that. I understand. Yeah. No. Yeah. This is untrue. Right. I can't talk right now. I'll call you back.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
Hi.
How you feeling?
I'm putting together a little plant for an indoor grow.
It's getting chilly out there.
Supposed to freeze tonight.
Is it already?
That's,
Really?
That's what they're saying. Is that funny?
No, it seems too early. Look out the window. Look at that. Look at the colors. They're not very. It's not time.
I know.
They're not as bright as they should be.
Nature's not acting the way it used to.
Right. That's right. It's not.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. I just hope we get our colors before the snow comes,
Probably not.
Because I'm not ready for a freeze. What is that? Is that you're planting?
I thought I'd grow a little catnip.
For the cats.
Yes. What is going on?
Nothing. It's of course for the cats. Larry Crow gave me something.
He gave you something?
No, I can't stop.
Why? What?
Yeah, I've been studying native plants with him. He's teaching me out at the monument. I told you.
What would you? Do you need to sit down?
No, stand, Bob. It's better.
I don't understand what.
All things pass,
What did you take?
Plants and seeds mixed together.
What?
But
What did you take?
I plants and seeds mixed together. It's all right, Bob.
Look, I am not okay with this.
It's helping me.
How?
I feel good. Bob. For the first time in a long time.
But you're.
I'm not depressed. I haven't been depressed for 2 weeks now.
Well, I am.
I'm sorry, Bob. I know. Do you want anything? I bought some caramel apples at the Red Owl. They had some nice ones. Do you want a caramel apple?
Not right now.
Well, What should I, do you need anything?
I need you to stop eating seeds and plants with Larry Crow.
No. Listen, just listen, just listen now. We didn't eat them. We smoked them. I admit, and I'm kind of affected.
Oh, well, you admit it. Well,
No,
that's
Don't
nice.
be sarcastic with me, Bob. I'm trying to
Look,
talk to you, and
you're affected? You're scaring me.
Well, I have a lot of different feelings happening.
Yeah, I can see that.
All at the same time here.
Mm-hmm. So what did you,
We smoked a thing that is supposed to help me get over the injury inside of me.
what?
We all have it, all of us, from the past. And he told me, Larry, that it might be a little rough at first, but to just hold on, and the healing will come.
What did you smoke?
A thing called salvia and morning glory seeds and Jimson weed, all mixed together.
That's dangerous.
It's dangerous. The healing will come
I mean,
inside.
this worries me.
I'm worried about you, Bob. I really am. Your cancer. I'm just trying to feel better so I can be better for you.
I don't understand why you can't at least try it.
I'm not going back to that, Bob.
There's new medications out now that
No,
will
Larry has given me the courage to try to find another way to find peace. I have faith.
faith.
Yes.
Well, you're going back to church now too?
No. Not yet. Not now. I might. I could. But I.
What are you doing with Larry Crow?
What do you mean?
He doesn't like me, and now what are you doing with him?
Oh, Bob. Do you think that that he and I
What are you doing?
Not what you think, Bob.
What do I think?
He's a two-spirit.
He's a what?
He's both genders, male and female. He's special. He's spiritual.
Is he? I mean, does he?
He doesn't want me that way, Bob.
How do you know that?
He told me.
Oh, so you discussed it.
Yes, he told me. I listened.
Well, why would you do that?
He wants to help, Bob. He knows all about pain and suffering. He's a wise man. Spiritual, like I said. I bet he could help you, Bob.
Oh no, I don't need any help.
No, you
from-
keep too much inside.
No, I'm fine.
It's not your fault. It's the way you were raised. Your father, for example.
Okay,
I don't think
okay,
you've
come
ever
on,
found
come
a
on,
way
that's
to
enough.
No, you've never found
Look,
a way
I am
to-
not going to smoke seeds with a two-spirit who punched me in the mouth in high school.
He doesn't remember that.
What?
Punching you, he doesn't.
So you discussed that too, huh?
He said he was drunk in high school. He's sober now.
Is that sober, smoking seeds and plants?
It's medicine. It wasn't working before, the things I was taking, Bob. I never really got over my depression, my anxiety. They were always around.
Did you really try?
What?
Your depression, your anxiety, sometimes I think you...
Think I what, Bob? What?
When you quit drinking, you asked for medication to calm you down, to relax your nerves.
Because I needed it.
You grew dependent on pills
Pills that you gave me.
that you said you needed.
That I don't want anymore. That's the point. No more Valium. No more antidepressants.
That's fine, good. But now you're smoking seeds and plants.
I'm trying something else. Yes. Because I do want to feel better, in spite of what you think.
I don't think you don't want to feel better. I just think that you get stuck in your mind, and your mind is you can't see a way out of it. So
I want to be free. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there. I need peace.
So now you're using seeds.
You don't know everything, Bob. Nobody does.
Except for Larry Crow, I guess.
There's things happening, Bob.
That's for sure.
No, I mean things going on that we don't understand.
What? Could you be more specific?
Well, sometimes I think there are things affecting me, things beyond explanation that I'm not really aware of, but I want to be aware.
I don't understand.
I know you saw the purple finch
What?
just a while ago, didn't you?
Well, we both see her. I mean, she's around, so
I saw you see her.
What do you? What?
In my mind, I was coming home, and I just knew. I knew. You said aloud to yourself, "Huh, the purple finch." When you saw her, right?
How do you? I mean, what do you?
This is what I'm talking about. Sometimes I just know things, and it's been happening, and it makes me want to find out more. Larry says that we're all connected.
Yeah.
Everything.
I know he says
Bob,
that. He told
listen,
me. Look, we all know things sometimes. I mean, you think of someone and the phone rings. That happens to all of us.
Yes, but why? Bob, how? I want to know, and I feel close to it.
It's a mystery.
But it can be understood, I think, by searching the right way.
I don't know. I don't. I don't know.
I feel okay now.
What do you mean?
I'm not I'm not affected anymore.
Is your head clear? You're not high?
No. Yes. No. It's gone. Is Freddie here?
He's out at Gerald Herdsman's.
Oh, so he took the job. That's good, isn't it?
I hope so.
Did he talk to you?
We actually had a conversation.
That's good, Bob. What did you
He it surprised me. He opened up to me.
He did.
He said he'd been thinking about things in his life, and he said he wasn't mad at me anymore.
Oh.
He's been going to AA. He likes it. He said he also likes going to church.
He said that?
He likes going to the Methodist church.
The Methodist?
Says it's calmer than the Catholics.
Oh. What does that mean?
Well, he didn't elaborate. He just said it's more relaxed over there.
The Methodists? Huh. Well, I don't know why. It's good he's not mad at you.
He's mad at you.
What?
I'm off the hook. You're on it.
Why is he? I mean, what did he say?
He said you know.
I know.
Yes.
What?
Why he's mad at you.
Is that all he said?
That was it.
I don't know. I mean, I.
Well, talk to him. I think you should talk to him.
I mean, of course, I know about the. I mean, but that was such a long time ago.
What was?
You know, the incident.
He didn't bring that up.
He didn't.
I'm sure he'll talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm being sued.
Excuse me?
Someone is suing me.
You're kidding.
No.
Who would want to sue you?
Sheila Olson.
What? Oh, God damn it. What for?
She's just.
What happened?
She came to my office yesterday.
You're not her doctor. She goes to Dr. Olafson, doesn't she?
He went to a conference on obesity in Sioux Falls.
Oh. Well, what happened? Why did she?
So she had a bad throat infection and she was in a lot of pain.
Uh-huh.
This is kind of hard to talk about.
What happened, Bob?
I was examining her throat, and I had my light in this hand, and I was holding her tongue down with the tongue depressor.
Uh-huh.
She coughed, and I
Coughed?
hard, and I dropped the tongue depressor down her top.
Her top.
She had on a low-cut top.
Well, what happened?
The tongue depressor fell down between her.
Cleavage.
Yes, and I automatically reached for it.
The tongue depressor.
Yes, and this is so ridiculous. But
She's got those stupid big boobs.
yes, and the tongue depressor was stuck between them, and I tried to grab it.
The depressor.
Yes, I was trying to get it out, and she jumped back and she tripped, and I grabbed her to keep her from, to help her, and she ran. She left the office. That was it. Nothing more was said.
It sounds so crazy, Bob.
What does?
That story.
It's not a story.
I'm not saying I don't believe it.
Well, what are you saying?
It just sounds crazy.
I know, it does.
She's always showing off those great big boobs.
Yeah,
Always wearing the low-cut tops.
yeah.
A 60-year-old woman showing off her boobs. And it's October, for God's sakes.
That's true. So, she got a lawyer, Cecil Goots. He said she was going to sue.
For what?
Some kind of sexual assault, he said.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I can't believe it. If something like this gets out,
But it's not true. No one's going to believe it. Are they? What?
what, are you asking me?
No one's going to believe it.
You know how people are. In this town, they talk.
They do.
She's pretty popular.
With a lot of idiots. the American Legion drinking crowd. They're going to love something like this. Oh, God damn her.
It'll be all right.
Will it?
Yes.
Oh, Bob.
And
What?
I got another lump.
What? Is it?
I haven't been to the doctor yet.
Oh, no.
Don't worry.
How can I not worry? What is going on? She wants money. That's what she wants.
We could settle it out of court.
But you're innocent, Bob.
Just be.
Why should you pay that bitch?
It would be easier that way.
Would it?
Like, I got my reputation to protect.
God, I hate her.
Do you have to do that now?
Yes, I do. I do. Ready?
I guess so.
God.
You better talk to him.
I know. I will. Not right now. But
There's your purple finch.
it's our purple finch.
Yeah. Yeah.
She knows us.
It could be.
It is. It is.
There we go. Yes. Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to introduce everybody one at a time. So thank you, guys. Thank you to my audience, to Zoom audience, and to our YouTube audience. And we're going to start off with, let me introduce Lily Knight. So come on in, Lily and Steve. There we go. I forgot you're on the same camera. If I'm introducing one, I get both of you. It's a 2-for-1. Awesome. Lily Knight, Steve Hofvendahl, and Joe Keys, our playwright. Come on in, Joe. Hit that button, Joe. There we go. Excellent. And directed by Peter Flood. Come on in, Peter. Awesome.
I'm here.
Great show. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Great show. Guys, you can, to our audience, you can, if you want to chat in, you're more than welcome to. You could also raise your hand. You have that option, or you can, we have Q&As as well. So so many things. You could do whatever you really want to do. In our YouTube audience, if you want to type anything in, if you guys are up for it, feel free to type something in. And we'll have we'll do a little bit of a talk back for a few minutes and see how it goes, and then we'll call it a night. And you guys can stop watching while you're driving. You should not be watching the show while you're driving. Okay, I'm going to start this off. I do have one question for you guys. I'm going to start with Steve and Lily, and that is that we're now on number 6. How much are you enjoying these guys, Bob and Rena, and what are you discovering about them that you in this, I mean, basically, we've got a series going on. You hear that, Netflix? We have a series going on. And so we have a series going on. I want to know how, what are you discovering with these guys? Tell me some of the layers that you're discovering.
Well, Joe keeps surprising us with just great new development and new ideas, and he always, when he's working on it, he always bitches about how he's doing a terrible job, and then we read it and we are like just transfixed by it. So when he says that, I think he's saying it now about part 7. We're like, good.
The more Joe bitches, the better it gets. That's really what it is. So
I think the characters are transforming, and in the beginning, there was something about the personalities that were so fixed, but for Rena, it feels like it's opening up, and so it's interesting to sort of go, okay, where is it living now?
right.
And each time through is sort of like a little bit of vertigo.
Oh, interesting. Wow, interesting. Joe, are you finding new facets? Because I know these were modeled after people that you know or knew. Are you finding new facets to these characters?
Well, hopefully. I mean, it's sort of like, it sort of goes where it goes. I mean, there's aspects of real life Pipestone, Minnesota stories in these episodes, but it's not. I'm not. This stuff didn't happen in my home. It's. I don't know. I mean, it's sort of like the. What was the question?
I have no idea. What's your favorite color?
Green.
Good,
What's
good.
happening to those colors?
I mean, there's certain things when we establish certain things, like in this episode, we could ignore them or we have to continue to explore them, like Bob being sued, his cancer, and of course Rita's continual exploration into Native American mysticism, for lack of a better. So I feel hopeful that we have some issues that will carry us into a satisfying next episode, but I always do feel like I don't have a clue where we're going. Fortunately, I'm in good company with you, Todd, for creating this, and Peter's direction, and with Steve and Lily being great actors. So together, as a collaboration, we managed to kind of muddle ourselves in and out of what we consider satisfying episodes, and that there's hope for further exploration, because there are issues, there are problems, and I have to remember to create them, and that. So we didn't really know. That's part of it. It's sort of the theme upon the theme about this mystical thing. What really is going on with these people, and then it's sort of like, what's going on with us when we're trying to create these people,
Right. I'm going to go to Peter and then Stu. Stu, don't go away. You're next.
I just touch on what Joe said briefly. The underlying current to Home Fires that has emerged clearly about what is it about in terms of story. It is about knowing and not knowing. It is about the state that we live in, regardless of where we are. But and the world that Steve and Bob and Rena are located in. So that's a third character. But it's the underlying thing about what we can know and what is capable, what is our knowing capable of, and that can apply to small issues like, well, not small, but domestic issues like a troubled son, or Bob treating people in strange situations because he's a rural doctor. Rena about herself, about her own state of mind. Bob is from Pipestone. She wasn't. She came there, so she's not. She's on a certain level. She's an outsider to the community, although she's been there forever. They've had 8 adult children. The first episode, the last adult children has left the house. So not knowing is really falls on Rena first. Bob has a practice. He goes out, he takes care of people, and then he comes home. Rena, without children in the home, without children to raise and other stuff like that, has deeper issues about anxiety and so forth. The first 2 or 3 issues series track that. And then from there, it kind of turns, it turns to Bob, because when it comes to knowing, Bob is actually more challenged because he is more sure of himself in a way, at least superficially, not superficially, but he's more occupationally sure of himself as practice does. But underneath that, there are other issues. So that's really where, and when Joe says he doesn't really know about where the next episode comes from, I take that as a good thing. I really do, because what comes out of Joe's not knowing has been pretty damn good so far. I mean, speaking of writing, yeah.
I totally agree. Stu Berg.
Hi. Just a note. I have seen all 6 of the episodes, and I am absolutely astounded by the level of consistency from one episode to the other. I mean, you can sometimes, and particularly when you're doing something like this, you can reach a point where what you're doing falls off, but to keep the level of consistency going is really remarkable. And I want to compliment the actors who are just fabulous. Peter, who does a marvelous directing job, well, he always does, and Joe for writing it. So you can say to yourself, all right, we see 6, where are we going? I want to know where we're going. So as far as I'm concerned, you can go into season 2, 3, or 4, because it's really, really entertaining. So my kudos to all of you guys. And I'm looking forward to seeing you soon.
All right.
Thank you, Stu.
I hope so. All right. Thanks, Stu. Gina Acosta.
Hi, you guys. Can you hear me?
Of course.
I was last coming to you from Norm's in West Hollywood.
I know.
Gosh, unlike Stu, I am not amazed at the consistency of this is what Joe does. It's wonderful. And the thing that struck me about this episode in particular, with the issues at hand with Rena's depression, with Rena taking a step up to do something outside of the prescriptive norm, standing up for herself to Bob when he challenges her on that. It's some really deep stuff. And this episode in particular, I saw everyone take their time with it and really give it the weight, the moments that it deserves. Not just to forge through to get to, but gosh, it just was, it landed in such a real way, these particular things. And Joe, I think you're finding more of a depth, and I just say one writer to the next. I think you're just really finding and mining and allowing these characters to slowly reveal themselves in a way that I don't want to say that I haven't seen before, because I've been seeing it as it moves along. But this episode in particular, I just felt that there was really such a deeper level of work that is happening. And there's a relaxation between Steve and Lily that obviously has been growing, and of course they're together. But this touched me in a deeper fashion, this particular episode. And I love the, I just loved the gentleness of it with such reverence to the issue at hand. And of course there's those very funny little moments, but I didn't feel like it had to rely on that nearly as much. We were just enjoying this relationship and the little revelations, and to really see Rena go, I feel better, and this is what I want to do this. it was beautiful work. It was lovely. Thank you guys all so
Thank
much.
you, Gina.
Thank you, Gina.
Thank you, Jen.
All right, Margot Hammond.
Well, hey there, it's Frank.
Yeah, it's Margot, but Frank wants to talk. My husband wants
Okay,
to
all right,
talk.
great.
Hey, Frank.
Well, first of all, that's really excellent psychedelic work, and I really
Frank knows, ladies and gentlemen.
I was really right with you every trail of the way. But but you know what I loved about that is that I was seeing sides of Rena that I hadn't seen, because that thing's liberated her so much, and that all of a sudden you're seeing all the pieces floating about in the sky, right, all around her, and of her all the stuff she's dealing with, and but I think it was and the way the stuff unfolded. I mean, I wasn't ready for it to end at all, and now I'm sort of okay. Now what's going to happen with the cancer? What's going to happen with the lawsuit? What's going to happen with the son downstairs? I mean, there's all this stuff that's all this really opening up, and then so I mean, you couldn't wrap all that up in this one episode, but I love how all that was laid out, and I look forward to catching the other episode, then the succeeding episodes, because obviously more there.
And keep on going.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, and all right, I'm just going to read a couple of our chats, and then let me hit buttons here. So a couple of our chats we have. Oh, Claire said, wonderful, guys. So great. Beautiful work. Lily and Steve. Brad, those low-cut tops. And it's October. So much fun. And it drives us to want to see the next episode. And Pamela says, Chris and Pam here. We have to run. You guys knock our hats in the creek every time. Best home fires ever. Can't wait for number 7. So fantastic. Great episode. They're like family. Can't wait for more. Yeah, it's... I read this out loud for our YouTube audience, because I know our Zoom audience can see this, but our YouTube can't. So, and it's good. Our YouTube is a little bit bigger than our Zoom. So everybody, I think this is wonderful. If anybody, do you guys have any more comments? I'm going to ask our audience and ask our cast here, along with Joe and Peter. Any more thoughts? Anything else you want to share with our world?
Just well, I actually agree with what Gina was saying about this particular episode, that it evolves into a place in the relationship that is it's earned over the episodic arc, and it's been fantastic working on this particular one, because it is gentle in the sense it isn't driven by there's conflict, but the conflict is subtle, and it isn't about an external thing so much. It's really deeper than that. So this is a really satisfying episode to have entered into, and I've really enjoyed the trip.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm glad as well.
Yeah.
Joe, go ahead.
Oh, I enjoyed the trip too. I mean, the mystery of theater. This is going to sound maybe pretentious, but I'm going to commit myself. Theater is the performing arts. Like watching these guys work, but you don't have a lot of rehearsal time, so there's always surprises the way they handle this material. But they always manage to stay close to the truth, which I find impressive. No matter how it varies, it's always I believe what they're doing and what they're saying, and I always admire and enjoy watching that, and seeing how they'll get to certain points and how they create moments with this material, and the way that the way that Peter's steady hand and trying to guide all that. And this one did seem a lot calmer than the others, and part of me, I think I spent too many years as a stand-up comedian or something, but I sometimes just thinking, we need an event, we need something to happen here, a joke, somebody needs to come flying in, but there's more and more going on, and this thing is kind of searching for some deeper meaning. The episode, the series is searching for a deeper meaning. So I have to let it go where it wants and hope that it's satisfying.
Good. Good. Yeah, it's a beautiful piece, and I personally, I get to be a fly on the wall for everything, and the evolution is really, really wonderful, and I love the fact, this is people have fallen in love with these characters, and I was saying to you guys earlier that I now get text messages saying, "Oh, I can't wait for the next Home Fires. I can't wait for the next Home Fires." And here's a story with a very limited cast that is just gotten into people's homes and into people's hearts and into their minds. So people are excited. So it's kudos for all of you guys. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking yesterday. I think it was a conversation with Peter and everybody about just this is like a master class for me in writing and seeing what you can get away with, what you can't. Because I like the idea of having a son that you haven't seen and may never see, who's living in the basement. That freaked me out. I thought you can't do that. You can't build this conflict around somebody you never see. It's not gonna work. But so far it has, and I didn't know that. I mean, there's so much that I don't know that the only way it's trial and error. You find out, will this be satisfying dramatically? We find out as we work on these things. And these guys, everybody speaks their mind, thank God. So if something isn't satisfying or falls short or feels false, people make a statement of it, which I so appreciate, because then I get to learn, what to do to try to help it.
I think it's wonderful. You have so many. I think everybody's imagination is filling in the blank of who Freddie is and what he's doing. So, which is wonderful, which is really, really wonderful. Peter, you see, let me hear it. You're at the edge of your seat.
Yeah, no, as far as character, building a play around a character you never see, it didn't bother Samuel Beckett, Joe. So I think you could probably,
Can't forget that. Waiting for Freddie.
Freddie's the present. I mean, Gina Acosta wrote a play, Sullivan Girl, is about a girl who's been dead for 40 years. And we don't see her either, but we know exactly who she is by the end of the piece. So yeah, I think it's actually what's intriguing. The issues if the piece were ever picked up and whatever about opening the piece up. Actually, of all the episodes, this is the most open physically, behaviorally that we've had. With Rena's character coming in the state of mind, her anxiety about Freddie and the turn on Freddie's state of mind turn, all the stuff in the in the deep background, and coming to how it's where we are in position to the camera, this kind of vertical depth of field in the piece. That this has been a lot of fun. And I don't know if the next piece supports it or not. It's okay. We'll take what's there. But it's nice pushing it with Todd's help. It's nice pushing those dynamics that Zoom allows.
Sure. Yeah, it's certainly teamwork. And I almost, I have to be so careful with the word Zoom. I mean, Zoom has been an amazing platform. But there's also a stigma attached to Zoom when you're doing theater on Zoom. I hear people say Zoom theater, and I never want anybody to say, "Oh, it's Zoom theater." I mean, we're a digital stage ultimately, and whatever platform we evolve to, whether it stays Zoom forever and ever, I have no idea. But we've created a digital stage, and we're taking it for everything that it has, for everything it has to offer.
I just add that. Personally, I mean, we've been working on Home Fires about a year, maybe a little over a year, as I recall, and it's been a lifesaver because of Steve and Lily. The house itself, they're in the same frame. The house is like ordered by a set designer. I mean, it couldn't be better defined and more useful in terms of the nature of this play being a kitchen table play, essentially. And it's just been a complete relief from the limitations that the pandemic has imposed upon the theatrical process. So I'm deeply appreciative not only for the situation, but their talent, the relationship, their working relationship. It makes all things possible. It would not be possible otherwise.
Here. We totally agree. Thank you, Todd. I mean, this has been
Oh,
such a
thank you
godsend
guys. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Thank you all. I'm in love, deeply in love with all of you.
Good. Likewise. Likewise. All right, guys. Let me see. We have one more. It's so exciting to follow Joe's imagination. I love how it's called digital theater. I do feel the stage presence of the drama. I've seen all episodes and am always surprised. Thank you, everyone. That's from Rebecca Paradis.
Okay. Yeah, from
And then,
Minnesota. Right.
Yes.
Thank you, Rebecca.
And Catherine says, I'm family, but I wish there was a larger cast or scenery. We're working on it. There's going to be more. And then tongue depressor and boobs. Yay. Yes, I agree.
Thanks, Margot.
That's Margot. Yes. All right, everybody. All right. Well, if Claire, I saw your hand went up and down and up and down. If you want to pop your hand up, I just have a few final things I want to say. And of course, thank you to everybody that's on screen. Again, I'll send you a link for our wrap up afterwards as soon as we turn off. Guys, remember next week, it's a big interactive show with our monologues by Susan Sullivan and David Selby called The Share. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be sharing. So we are really excited to go and share with our artists and with our audience. So make sure you tune in next week. And then lastly, we lost a couple people which were very near and dear to us. One was Mitch Ryan. So I want to say shout out. Mitch did 3 of our shows, but of course, Mitch had an incredibly long career. What a wonderful guy. I was so fortunate to get to know him over the last couple months. So his loss is felt. And then for those who asked, my mom. So my mom passed away. This is not good to do on the air. Okay. But she watched every show. Today was the first one she missed. Although I think she's still watching today. So,
yeah. I'm sure she was proud of you, Todd.
All right, guys.
God bless you.
Boy, I've been so good up until now. All right, guys. That's it. That's all I got.
I applaud your courage for bringing that forward, Todd. So thank you. Thank you, man. Really, seriously.
All right, guys. Gina, your hand is up, so I'll give you. We're going to go out with you, Gina.
This show's for Carol. Love you,
thank
Carol.
you, Gina. Yeah, that's Carol. Carol's my mom. So thank you. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Okay, man.
And, thank you again.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us.